Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Tutelage, a guide to learner. Here, this is Sriparna. I hope all of you are doing well. So we have already discussed in my last session on economics, that is the part 1 of employment and unemployment, and which includes basically the basic concept of employment and unemployment and its types. Okay. So today we are going to discuss the second part of this chapter, that includes basically the types of unemployment and consequences of unemployment. Clear? So here we can see there are different types of unemployment and we will discuss it. Okay, so if you have missed my previous session, so please go and check it once. I think this session will be a grateful session to everyone. So please go and check it once, and my last session link is available in my first comment and my description box. So please go and check it once. So learner, here we can see our two topics for today's discussion. We have already told that thing, that is types of unemployment. It includes cyclical, educational, technological, discussed, seasonal, open and structural employment, and consequences of unemployment. So let's start the session. So learner, here we can see another slide, that is types of unemployment. But before going to the main discussion, that is different types of unemployment, at first we have to discuss what is employment and what do you mean by a unemployment, because we have already told the basic concept of employment and unemployment in our last session. So if you have missed it, so please go and check it once. I think it will be a really helpful session to all. So do you know, learner, what is employment? So employment basically refers to the occupations in which people work for others and get remunerated in return. That is the basic concept uh, about employment. So learner, we have another concept, that is unemployment. And do you know, learner, what do you mean by a unemployment? So unemployment is basically a complex phenomenon. Okay, in common or ordinary sense, the term unemployment denotes a situation when a person is not gainfully employed in a productive activity and thereby doesn't work or earn. So that is the basic meaning of unemployment. And here we can see there are two types of unemployment. The first one is rural unemployment and second one is urban unemployment. And we have already told what is unemployment. So those type of unemployment is happened in the rural areas, which is called the rural unemployment, and those type of unemployment is happened uh, in urban areas, so which is called the urban unemployment. So that is the basic meaning of rural and urban unemployment. So now going to the next slide. So here we can see another chart for types of unemployment in India, and we have already told unemployment is of two types. The first one is rural unemployment and second one is urban unemployment. And here we can see rural unemployment is of three types. The first one is disguised unemployment. Just a minute, learner, just change the color. Okay. So first one is disguised unemployment, second one is seasonal unemployment, and third one is educated unemployment. We will discuss the what is concept of disguised, seasonal, educated, etc. in my next slide. And on the other hand, we can see urban unemployment is also four types. So first one is open unemployment, under unemployment, educated unemployment, and last one, that is technological unemployment. So now going to the next slide, and where we will discuss what is disguised and seasonal unemployment. Okay, so do you know what do you mean by a disguised unemployment, learner? So what is disguised unemployment? So basically, disguised unemployment refers to a situation when a person is apparently employed but in fact is unemployed. Okay, so disguised unemployment is one kind of a unemployment which indicates a person is apparently employed but in fact he is unemployed. So unemployment is not open for everyone to see. We cannot say who is unemployed. The unemployment is not visible but it is concealed or hidden. So that's why the another name of disguised unemployment is hidden unemployment. Okay, clear? So, it is not possible to identify as to who is unemployed as everyone seems to be employed. So, we illustrate the notion of disguised unemployment by an example because it works more clear to everyone. Okay. So suppose 40 hours of total work, okay? Total work is 40 hours, is to be done every day on a given firm if the normal working hours, that is 10 hours. 10 hours per day, okay? And there are 4 workers, okay? So, just a minute. Total working hours 40, per day working hours that is 10, and number of workers, that is 4. Okay, so uh, 40 hours of total work can be done by 4 workers, clear? But if there are 5 working persons in a family and there is no work available outside the family firm, so then 40 hours of daily work may be shared among 5 workers, with each worker working for 8 hours daily, because 40 divided by 5, that is 8. Okay, previous 40 divided by 4, that means 10 hours per day, but at present that is 8 hours per day for working 5 worker. Okay, so that's why uh, at present working hours per person, that is 8 hours. So here every member of the family appears to be employed since each one of them is working for 8 hours daily. But in a sense, each one is unemployed as well, to the extent that he is not working for full 10 hours a day, because their full working capacity, that is 10 hours a day. Okay, so each one is unemployed for 2 hours every day. It appears that nobody is without work, but this conceals the fact that the workers are not working to their full capacity, and that's why this type of unemployment is called the hidden unemployment or concealed unemployment, because we cannot point at any person and say he is unemployed. Okay, so disguised unemployment occurs when there are workers who are apparently working but their contribution to output is nil, in the sense that if they stop working, the total output. So, in my example, what is the total output? That is 40 hours work. Okay, so total output will not decrease. So that's why their marginal productivity, the marginal productivity is 0. If some workers are withdrawn from the agricultural sector, the same work will be done by fewer workers and output will not fall. That is called the disguised unemployment. So why does disguised unemployment occur? Basically, disguised unemployment occurs because of three interrelated reasons. What is the first reason? First reason is availability. The first reason, availability of large labor force. Okay. The second one, that is non-availability of alternative employment opportunity in the urban sector. So, non-available employment opportunity. And last reason, that is agriculture as a family occupation. In India, a large labor force is available in the agricultural sector due to the high growth rate of population. In the absence of any employment opportunity in the urban sector, people fall back on agricultural sector because it is their family occupation. They share a given amount of work among themselves, and though the amount of work is not sufficient to absorb all of them to extent of their full capacity, so they share their workload of the other family members instead of remaining idle. Okay, so disguised unemployment is one of the most predominant form of unemployment in the agricultural sector of developing countries like India, and this type of unemployment is also chronic in nature. It can be eliminated only as a result of economic development when more employment opportunities are created in the urban sector. Otherwise, the problem of disguised unemployment is present in the developing countries like India. So, I think what do you mean by a disguised unemployment is clear to everyone. So, what is disguised unemployment? So, disguised unemployment basically refers to a situation when a person is apparently employed but in fact he is unemployed. Now, going to the next unemployment, that is seasonal unemployment. So, seasonal unemployment refers to a situation when a people get work during some days or months of the year but not regularly throughout the year. So, they are unemployed during some part of the year. So, that's why it is called the seasonal unemployment. And the seasonal unemployment basically occurs during certain seasons of the year, and it arises in the particular occupations through seasonal variations in their activity and brought about by climatic changes, and it occurs due to the lack of productive work during certain periods of the year. So, seasonal unemployment occurs in certain industry as well, because those industries are dependent on the agricultural sector. So, for example, agro-based industry face the problem of face the similar problem. So the problem of seasonal unemployment. Okay, and it take place mainly due to lack of suitable alternative employment opportunities. All type of unemployment, basically the main reason behind this there is a lack of alternative employment opportunities. uh, in disguised unemployment, the reason is alternative employment opportunities in the urban areas, and for the seasonal unemployment, the basic reason for seasonal unemployment, that is alternative employment opportunities in the slack season. Okay, so it is also important in India. The reason is very obvious, because agriculture is predominant occupation in India, and it is the agricultural sector which is mainly affected by the large seasonal variations in the demand for agricultural labor, because of use of labor intensive methods of production. So that's why it is also one of the most important type of unemployment. So first one is disguised unemployment, and second one is seasonal unemployment. So now move on to the next slide, and here we can see educated unemployment. So basically, educated unemployment, from chart we have already seen, educated unemployment is present in both area, that is urban and the rural areas. So that's why rural unemployment and urban unemployment, one of the common type of unemployment, that is educated unemployment. So educated unemployment refers to unemployment among the educated people. Okay, so some of these people may be unemployed in the sense of open unemployment. They are not doing any work, whatever. There may be others who are underemployed. So they may be doing inferior jobs because they may not be able to get work suitable to their qualifications. The problem of educated unemployment is basically the problem of urban areas, and but the problem has emerged in the rural areas as well in recent years, due to the spread of education among the villagers. Okay, so educated unemployment basically occurs due to the rapid extension of educational facilities, and present faculty education system is also responsible for this problem, because the education system in country is not related to the available employment opportunities. There is too much emphasis on the general education rather than vocational education, and that's why there is a large number of educated unemployment in developing countries like India. So now going to the next slide, and here we can see our another type of unemployment, that is open unemployment and underemployment. So at first we have to know, what do you mean by a open unemployment? Okay, so what is open unemployment, learner? So basically, open unemployment refers to a situation when there are some workers who have absolutely no work to do. They are willing to work at the prevailing wage rate, but they are forced to remain unemployed in the absence of work. So these workers are completely idle. Such unemployment is clearly visible, as the number of such unemployed persons can be counted, and hence it is called the open unemployment. Okay, so open unemployment is to be found largely in cities and to a very limited extent in rural areas. So frictional, we will discuss in my next slide, structural unemployment, cyclical unemployment. But structural unemployment, cyclical unemployment are the different types of open unemployment. Okay, so now going to the next type, that is underemployment. Okay, so underemployment refers to a situation when the employed persons are contributing to production and income, but which is less than what they are really capable of. So that's why those person is called the underemployed person. In this situation, people do not get the type of work they are capable of doing or they are trained for. Okay. For example, we can say if an automobile engineer takes up the job of ordinary motor mechanic for want of for an appropriate job in a big company, he is said to be underemployed because apparently he is employed in a productive activity and thus contributes something to production and income, but in reality he is not making full utilization of his capabilities, is in fact underemployed. He is underemployed because his capabilities are not fully utilized. So when we are uh, calling the situation is underemployment. So underemployment basically refers to a situation when employed persons are contributing to the production sector but income which is less than what they are really capable of. So, in that type of situation, they are not using their capabilities full, they are not using their full capabilities in the production sector. So, those person is called the underemployed person. I think this is clear what is underemployment. Okay, so now move on to the next slide, and here we can see our most probably, oh sorry, second last slide for types of unemployment, that is technological unemployment and cyclical unemployment. So at first we have to discuss what do you mean by a technical unemployment. Okay, so learner, we do you have any idea about technological unemployment? So basically technological unemployment is a special problems of unemployment, and that is a special type of unemployment also, because technological unemployment refers to a unemployment that arises because of the use of labor saving techniques. Okay, so what do you mean by a labor saving techniques or capital using techniques? So, labor saving techniques or capital using techniques are those techniques which use more of capital and less of labor. So, labor saving, that's why it indicates less amount of labor and it indicates more use of capital. So, labor saving techniques or capital using techniques are those type of techniques which use more of capital and less of labor to produce a given amount of output. So these techniques are used because they are more efficient. Introduction of improved machinery and new techniques has a tendency to displace labor and thereby the cause of technological unemployment. So modern production process is essentially characterized by the use of these advanced techniques of production and thereby displacing some of the existing workers and leaving behind a trail of unemployment. So, in India, there is a preponderance of handicraft industries, you all know. So, in its existing industrial structure, but industrialization involves the development of a great variety of modern industries. So that's why many of these large industries have emerged by displacing the small scale handicraft industries also. For example, we can say computerization of banking operations has made also several bank employees redundant. Okay, so this is the one of the most important example for technological unemployment. So learner, we all know industrialization and modernization basically create technological advancement, and technological advancement is one of the most important reason behind the technological unemployment. So technological unemployment refers to unemployment that arises because of the use of labor saving techniques. On the other hand, we can see another type of unemployment, that is cyclical unemployment, and cyclical unemployment is caused by deficiency in aggregate demand. Okay, so what is cyclical unemployment? So cyclical unemployment is one of the most common type of unemployment in the developed capitalist economies, and we have already told disguised unemployment, seasonal unemployment is related in the developing countries. Okay, but cyclical unemployment is one of the most common type of unemployment which arise in the developed capitalist economies. Okay, so it is associated basically with the downswing and depression phases of business cycle, and we all know what is meant by business cycle. So business cycle consists of alternating periods of prosperity and depression. We have already told we have already discussed uh, what is business cycle and the different phases of business cycle in a broad sense, but if you have my um, previous slides, so please go and check it once. I think this session will be a great session to everyone, and if you have any doubt on it, so please do one comment in my comment section. I will reply you positively. Okay, so business cycle basically consists of alternating periods of prosperity and depression. So during the phase of prosperity, the level of economic activity, that is income, output, employment, all are rises. But on the other hand, the period of depression is basically characterized by low level of economic activity. That means low income, low output, and low employment, low level of employment. So during the downswing and depression phases of business cycle, income and output fall, giving rise to widespread unemployment. And cyclical unemployment is caused by deficiency in aggregate demand, because during a depression income falls, so this lowers demand for goods and services. As a result, aggregate demand is not sufficient to purchase all the output that can be produced with full employment of labor force. So therefore production will be less than full employment output. Consequently, a large number of labor force will remain unemployed. So those type of unemployed person is called the cyclical unemployment. Okay. So cyclical unemployment is an inherent feature of a developed capitalist economy, and in a less developed countries like India, there can be such unemployment when there is a recession in the economy. Otherwise, cyclical unemployment occurs in the developed capitalist economy. I think technological unemployment and cyclical unemployment is clear to everyone. So here is the last type of unemployment, that is structural unemployment. So structural unemployment refers to a situation when a large number of people do not get work because of limited job opportunities available. Okay, so unemployment in India is basically structural in nature, because which refers to a situation when large number of people do not get work. It rises from the shortage of capital equipments and other complementary resources. Capacity to create job is limited in view of inadequate productive capacity, mainly capital equipments. In India, the productive capacity is not only limited but it is increasing at slower rate because of low rate of capital formation. As against this, The labor force is increasing at a fast rate because of rapid increase in population, and which is one of the most important reason for unemployment. So rapid increase in population. So in rapid increase in so labor force increases at a faster rate than the new jobs created. As a consequence, the number of unemployed person is increasing every year. Structural unemployment is not a temporary phenomenon, it is a deep rooted and chronic in nature also. So, it is associated with the underdeveloped structure of the economy. It can be solved through economic development by increasing by increasing the productive capacity in the economy also. So, economic development would bring about a large increase in employment opportunities, obviously. uh, economic uh, Economic development increase employment opportunities, and which is also important for minimize the uh, amount of unemployment. Okay, so this type of unemployment is associated with the structure of the economy, and that's why it is called the structural unemployment, and it can be taken care of by structural transformation of the economy also. Okay, so I think the all types of unemployment is clear to everyone, but due to the shortage of time, we haven't discussed the consequences of unemployment. So in my next session we will discuss the different consequences of unemployment, obviously. So we are done for today's session. If you like my session, do one like, one comment, and please do share my session with your near ones. Please do some support and subscribe to my channel. Your comments are one of the most important key to motivate me also. So please do comment and stay with me. Thank you. Keep commenting. Happy learning.